Right, hello everyone. I am Plunkera, and today we're going to continue drawing Manticore from Arknights. So, I did my usual take a look at it after going to bed and not looking at it for a while, and I was noticing that her head just looks a little bit fat after I adjusted the eyes the other day. So I just kind of wanted to make her hair a little bit thinner here. Nothing too drastic. Just going to kind of slide everything into place. Yeah, that's a little better. I will probably have to adjust back hair a little bit too at some point, but I'm not concerned about that for now. I'm gonna go back to taking a look at the hands. So just looking at the proportions here, I think the thumb compared to the other fingers is still a bit big. I made her fingers very skinny. So I want to adjust the size of the thumb here. And then I think I need to adjust the size of the palm relative to the fingers. I think the fingers might be a bit long. And I think it might just be easier to make palm bigger rather than the fingers smaller. Sometimes things just work out that way. So we'll just make her thumb a little bit slimmer here. Get that shape nice and round. And we'll see how much I can handle today. I can tell that spring is in the air. It is coming. Everything is coming back to life, which unfortunately means allergies for me, and headaches and body pain. Never was much of a fan of spring for that reason. But it's okay. I'll make it through. Just gonna be suffering for a little bit. We'll see how much my head can take today. It's not quite in a super great space for art. But I really do want to keep working on this. Taking the time to draw at least a little bit every day has helped considerably. I get a lot more done, and I'm actually able to finish more illustrations, and that makes me happy. I really do just like making things. Doesn't have to be much of a reason for it, it's just fun to see it all come together. More fun than just watching things, at least for me. I generally feel a little bit dead inside if I'm not out here drawing or coding. Probably my two big creative pursuits. Alright. So now I just want to make the palm a little bit bigger. I'm gonna go up here to the group. And we're just gonna pull this out a little bit. It should be a decent size. But I'll zoom out and take a look after I fill in this hole here. With any luck, I'll be able to finish the hands today. That would be really nice. Once the hands are finished, I can really go in and finish off the hair. And once the hair's finished off, I can actually go and finish off the eyes. And the rest of her face. That's the part that I've been wanting to work on. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay. Let me flip this just to make sure I have all the sizing the way I want it. I think the pinky is still a little bit too long. I'll just go in and fix that. It's not a problem. Nothing that just a little bit of moving things around can't fix. There. That's a little bit better. Yeah, I think so. I think that's a bit better. I'll go back here and adjust the shadows again. I've had to do this a few times now, but that's okay. It's not that hard. It doesn't take that long. Better just to keep trying until it looks right. Alright. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start smoothing that out. Let's fix the thumbnail. Funny I say that because I've been working on thumbnails for future videos. I want to compile all of these streams into a bit up time lapse of this drawing. I can understand that there may not be enough time to watch, you know, the probably what, 10 to 12 hour long live streams that's gonna go into making this. But 10-minute or so video should be pretty easy. I personally prefer watching people draw or drawing videos when they're sped up, so I can understand. Watching someone draw in real time can be a little bit slow. Just want to get some shadows on these fingernails. I'll do the highlights later. Alright, let's go back to smoothing everything out here. Come down here. I'm not going to worry about getting it accurate, but I want it slightly more accurate than it is right now. Okay. This should let me see what I'm doing. Without just having this weird dark lump on her face. Right? Time to get all this pretty clean. I've already done most of the cleaning for this part, so just touching it up after having to move things around a little bit. Just touch up here, and then we'll touch up the nail. I think we can start really getting in there and getting all these shadows in the right place. Really start finalizing how all this is gonna look. Isn't that exciting? I'm just trying to figure out where the joint is here. And a little bit of an indent. But I think I just prefer it like this. Sometimes it really is just better to keep things simple. Don't always need super detailed joints and all that stuff. Sometimes the big shapes are enough. I'm going to work on the nail bed a little bit here. Just get all that looking nice. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Probably rename that. I've made that mistake multiple times now. Just go in and make this a little bit rounder. Flatten the top a little bit. There we go. Looks much more like a nail now. And then I can just go in and add these darker parts. Don't want to overdo it. Just keep it nice and simple. There we go. And I'll go in and add highlights later. I don't think I'm quite ready for the highlights yet. I'm gonna make sure everything looks good before I go and start adding too many details. See, like with the hair, sometimes I add highlights just to make sure I can understand how everything's working and stuff like that, because I do think the highlights in hair really showcase the three-dimensional effect of it and kind of makes the hair look smooth and shiny. But I don't really think that's the case for nails. Nails can get away with some pretty minimal shading. Or just a very small detail in the end. Alright. I think I still have just a little bit more work on the nail here. I'm not quite satisfied with how that's going in. I want it to like stick out just a little bit. Looking a little bit flat there. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Let's flip the canvas. Maybe a little bit more. Just a little bit peeking out there. Because this hand pose is kind of a secondary focal point, and I do think a big chunk of what's making... Oh, I'm on the wrong layer again. Silly me. You know what? We're renaming this. It's like twice in the last 5 minutes that I've made that mistake. Something's gotta give. What was I saying? I was saying that because the hands are... This particular hand pose is important to making Manticore look cute here. But I really want to make sure that I get it right. Spend a little bit of extra time on some of these small details. People may not consciously notice it in the end, but I do think people will subconsciously notice to a degree. And it'll just make it look just a little bit nicer. Okay. Let's get the pinky. So the pinky was mostly done last time too. So we just have a little bit of cleaning up to do. Because I had to adjust the size a little bit. But you can see, even when I kind of have to adjust things after... because I have to change the size or something like that, I have to go and make the edges nice and crisp and clean again. It doesn't take that long. It doesn't take as long as doing it the first time did. That's why I'm not afraid to make adjustments even after I've kind of cleaned and rendered things. If it looks bad, it looks bad. It should be fixed. Looks like... need a little more shadow there. Okay. Couldn't quite see what I was doing for a second there, so I had to go back and separate this palm from the rest. Taking a look at my hand and figuring out overall shading for it, but I think I have everything pretty much correct. Just a matter of getting all the shadows in the exact right places and then making everything look nice. looking a little chonky there. Let's just take this and push it in a little bit. I'm gonna pull this down a little. There we go. And once again, you see that some of these shadows aren't showing themselves right, so we will just adjust all that. Get the pinky looking nice and slender and pretty. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes having to go back and kind of fix up shadows in other layers, but that's alright. Whatever helps me see, so I can render this correctly. Eventually this will all be merged down, so it's alright. And I think that's looking pretty good. I would just smooth out the top side. And that'll be one finger down. Just make sure I get the shape of this looking good. You can see it's technically bent a little bit unnaturally, but sometimes being a little bit unrealistic with your fingers can make them look a little nicer. At least I think so. Stop them from looking too sausagey. Get in some other shapes in there. I don't think I have to correct much in her nails right here. But just a little bit off the edge here. And around here. So I'm gonna see here. Yeah. I think I had the right idea. We just need to keep it thin. Not gonna be shrouded in too much shadow. There we go. That should look pretty good once I get a highlight on it. And we'll fix this little shadow here. And I didn't put one on the index finger, and I probably should. I'll go back and do that. So I finished touching up this shadow over here. And just where the nail connects. Oh, I do not have this layer locked. Let's fix that. I'll lock it so this way I cannot color outside the lines. Makes it a bit easier to shade things sometimes. Alright, just add a little bit of shadow over here. Just a tiny one. Barely noticeable. But I think it adds just a little bit of extra dimension to the hands. Especially considering how simplistic my hands are overall. Okay, now we can go to the next fingers. Look at these ones. They were mostly correct already. But I did adjust the length of them a little bit. And of course I resized the hand a little bit as well. We just gotta go make sure that they're looking very smooth and everything again. Mostly minor corrections. Right, just right now I really want to get that separation nice and smooth. We're getting to this point where we want to finalize things, so getting the gist isn't good enough anymore. It actually does have to be the final. What is that? Okay. Just a bit of dirt on the, on a different layer. Just had to clean that up real quick. And we can go back to really making sure the separation looks good. Even though I had been adding little shadows around the nail beds, some of these fingers, I probably won't on the middle finger because it's mostly in shadow. Actually, I changed my mind. I think I want to have this lower part in light and then add a gradient at the end. I haven't added any gradients yet because I've just been focused on finalizing a lot of the main parts. I found that just a couple of touches of gradient can make things look very nice. So we're gonna go in and just... This is where I have to decide. Do I prefer the very dark shadow there, or do I prefer a gentler shadow like here? I do think I like the dark shadow. It shows that they're very, very close together. sometimes I'll try both options on different areas, and then I can directly compare them. And I can make it a little bit easier to make a decision. There we go. Oh, hello there, Sojiram. Thanks for stopping by. Just here, working on rendering some hands. Now I was just working on deciding exactly which colors I should use where. I think I want things over here to be a little bit lighter. Then I'll go back in and add a gradient on the fingers and make this lower part area a little bit darker when the time comes. That time is not yet. Cleaning up that edge a little bit there, and then I'll go back to making these shadows good. I don't want the ones on top to be super thick. They need to be pretty thin, because this is just where the two fingers are touching each other. And now I see here that there's a little bit of a lump on the pinky. I should go clean that up. Just a little one, but I don't want the edges to be at all blobby. Well, I think I'll go back and clean up over here a little bit. I still very much operate on... I work on the part that is bothering me most at the moment. And right now, that spot is right here. Right, and since I'm now using this, it's just a way to show the cast shadows from the other finger. I'm actually going to use a lighter color for the shadow down here. We'll just go making this look nice and round. Looks like I need to clean right through here just a little bit. Looking just a little bit blurry. Can't have that with this style. This style relies very much on clarity and clear color separation. Alright, now we'll just go through and continue making sure these shadows from where the fingers are touching each other are very thin and very smooth. You can see even though I have them pretty thin, I'm just shaving off just a little bit more. Really getting in there. And then on the top here, I want to make sure that the edge of the ring finger is very clearly defined away from the edge of the middle finger. Just keep that deeper shadow in there. I have to think a little bit more about this stuff because I don't use line art. If you use line art, the separation between the fingers like this is, at least in terms of shadows, probably not quite as important for you. There are pros and cons to most stylistic choices. I can certainly understand why most people use line art. It just never quite worked for me. I'm happy to introduce other methods of drawing. I think it's important to try to find ways that work for you. So you can see here the separation here is a little bit more vague than it is in other places because I have some remnants of other shadows from my sketch. So we just gotta smooth those out a little. There we go. Really getting there. Suppose how long it's taking me just to make this one simple line here goes to show why I don't use line art. Take me forever to line something. I just blob my way to victory. Lets me be a little bit more experimental and I mean, you saw how much I drag things around in my previous streams. Alright, here was looking a little unrefined, a little bit blurry. So we'll go clean that up now. It's always nice when I have all the big decisions made so I can just kind of zoom in and trust myself. And just really focus on making those edges clean. Without having to worry about whether or not something looks good. Just gotta believe in my past self and that my past self made good decisions and that everything is already looking pretty alright. Because I have no perspective when I'm zoomed in this much. All I can do is look at those edges and ask myself if they're clean enough or not yet. Definitely be very careful when you zoom in. Because you really do lose all perspective of the piece as a whole. Okay. Now I'll work on making the knuckles look a little nicer. I think it's okay for these ones to be a little more shadowed than the pinky. Maybe not quite that much though. Maybe just more like this. Where it kind of folds back. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Okay, do I need any further shading on here? I think I'll start there, and I'll see if I want to add any more in a little bit. So I'll go do the nails now. just clean up this one a little bit. Really get that looking nice. Right. And then I think need a little bit more right here to properly have it turn. There we go. This one looks like it got beat up a little bit in a move, so we better fix him up and heal all those little holes. And I was thinking about having this entire finger in shadow, but then I changed my mind, so I need to go back and put all the lights back on. Easy enough to do. I'm just cleaning up the shape since it did look like it got a little bit beat up in a move. The hazards of just moving stuff around like that. This finger isn't quite as important as the index finger, this particular hand pose, so I'm probably not going to worry about getting it super perfect. I think that's good. Now we'll put all the lights back on. There we go. Just keep it simple. And I'll go back down and put a couple little shadows around the nail bed. I just think it makes the fingers look a little bit more interesting. There we go. For a second there, I thought I grabbed the wrong color, but I think my eyes are just a little bit off because they're a little bit watery from allergies. Allergies are pretty rough. Okay. I think we're looking pretty good. Let's zoom out and take a look. Yeah, look at that. Time to do the palm and the thumb. Which do I want to do first? Let's start with the palm. Doesn't really matter, I'll have to do them both in the end. But I think I just want to see how everything's connected. This looks like it's a little bit wavy. Let's fix that real quick. Since I did such... Yeah, they don't quite touch as much as the other ones do, so I think this is actually correct. A little bit thicker to show that this part is actually a little bit further away from the rest of the fingers. As opposed to right next to each other like they are there. We'll just make this nice and smooth. I'm not too worried about getting the colors right for the moment. I know I just spent a lot of time getting the colors right in the fingers, but that's because I had them mostly rendered from last time. I haven't fully rendered the palm out yet. So I'm just working on getting these outer edges nice and smooth. And then I'll go back in and get all the shading and colors correct. One thing at a time. You try to do too many things at a time, well, you're just gonna get overwhelmed. Digital gives you a lot of flexibility like that, so take advantage of it. I might actually go in and render out the sleeves before I finish rendering the hand. I was noticing the other day that I thought it was kind of funny that my workflow for digital seems to be almost exactly the opposite of how you do things with traditional. Where with traditional, you want to start from the back and work your way forward. Whereas I'm finding in my process with digital, I typically start at the front and work my way back. I just thought that was kind of funny. Overall, I think traditional art and digital art have more similarities than differences. I think digital is just another medium, not unlike oil paints or pastels. But every medium has its own little quirks. Alright, let's get this little nail here. I like her thumb is still a little bit maybe shaped funny. I'll spend a little bit of time cleaning all that up. Let's actually push this a little further up. There we go. And just get everything into its place. There's a place for everything in this world. You just gotta find where it goes. And we'll just make her thumb a little bit rounder. Get everything all shaped nice. I didn't quite fully render the thumb when I was working on the hand yesterday, so there's still a little bit of work to be done. Okay, I think I'll leave it there for now, and I think I'm actually gonna go work on the sleeve. Alright, so this is gonna be the shadow color. And if I hide this, I can get the main color. I just put the sleeve completely in the shadow color for now, so I could see what I was doing earlier. But now it is time to make everything smooth and put everything where I want it to be. I'm not gonna go worry about these pink stripes for now. They were very useful when figuring out where things should go. The way this arm is angled, it looks like her arm probably comes through like this. Let's fully draw that arm. And don't just kind of hint at it. The sleeve can just rest on top of where that will be. And I added a little wrinkle here because I thought it might make things a little bit more interesting. I think the sleeve needs to bend down like this. Let's just let it hang off her arm. Loosely and gently, since it is a very loose sleeve. There we go. We'll zoom in again. This way I can see where all of the edges are. We'll get things nice and smooth before I go back in and add where all the lights and shadows are going to be. I may or may not add lots of highlights to this. I haven't decided yet. But there will definitely be shadows. Just kind of focusing on the overall shape still. Just see a couple little blobby parts that I feel the need to fix. Almost there. Alright, let's go ahead and put in these light parts. I think I need to go back down to the part that has her jacket. And we'll add shadows there instead. Just so we can see where her sleeve is. And it's not just the same color as the back. I think there's a little fold right there. I think that looks fine. I'll just curve it a little bit, make it look a little more interesting. It's fine if it's not entirely like 100% realistic or technically correct. But if it makes the painting look a little more interesting, I think it's a good thing to do. That's kind of how I think about these things. I'll go in and smooth everything out. Oh, I like the extra highlight there. I don't think I do, actually. I think I'm going to do this a little differently. We're going to do it like this. How's that? Is that a little better? Let's look at the thumbnail. I think that's a little better. Yeah. Oh, I need to clean my monitor. I keep noticing little bits of pixel dirt. Or at least I think it's pixel dirt, but it turns out it's actually just a little mark in my monitor. Didn't get around to doing that yesterday. I'll make a point to do it today. Once I stop drawing for the day. Okay. Now we're gonna go paint the inside. Actually, just gonna clear that. A little bit of extra from the hands here. Oops. I don't want to erase that part. Oh no. Okay. There we go. Just get the inside of her coat there. It'll be in shadow, so I'll just use the shadow color. We'll see if I can't get this nice and smooth. And then I'm gonna go take another look at Manticore's coat before I go in and draw the details. So I'm gonna go take another look at my reference, and yep, there's just that pink band. Looks like it has kind of a bit of a shiny, plasticky texture to it. Gonna make a new layer for it. And it's, yep, just right on the edge. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna go add the hem of the coat here. That kind of thing can really make your design pop. It's amazing how much of a difference these just tiny, tiny little details can make. My hand is not very steady today. That's alright. It might take me a little bit longer to make the stroke, but I can make it. You can see I'm extending this light into the shadow area a little bit, just to show that's where the hem is. But I don't think I need to continue it all the way down. It's like sometimes I do, but I don't think I like it in this case. I just want to extend it this far. Whether or not I do largely depends on my mood, and whatever I happen to think looks good at the time. I'm very inconsistent in that regard. Not cooperating with me. But I'll wrangle it into submission. I will win out in the end. Just gotta have enough patience to do so. Patience is not something I have a shortage of. Right? I wanted to add a couple little shadows around here. Alright. To show that it has some thickness. It's looking a little blobby right through here. I'm gonna go back and fix that too. Just keep working on it until it is to my satisfaction. we go. I think this looks good. Just fix this little mark right here. And there we go. So it looks like there's another little hem around the belt, but I want to draw the belt first. So we'll go do that now. Oh, it goes something like this. Something like that. Try to get the width and how far away it is from the hem consistent. So this way it looks like it's moving with the direction of the arm. So right now I think that belt is a little bit too thin. It's not a very thick belt, but the distance, oh no, this should be good actually. Just a little bit more, maybe somewhere around there. It's pretty thin. And I think I want this to curve just a little more this way. Something like that. Really use this line to emphasize the fold in the sleeve. There we go. I think this is a pretty good thickness. So now I just gotta clean up this shape. There we go. Try to get that little curve in there to show that it's wrapping around the coat arm here. There we go. Little details like that can add a little bit more three-dimensional effect to your drawings. Almost there. Okay. And then we just add the shadow bit. And because this is kind of sitting on top, I want to have the light extend a little bit further than it does on the actual coat. There we go. And I was noticing that there's a little bit of blobbiness right through there. So I'm gonna go fix that real quick. Okay. And much like before, I need to hide the hood so I can see. There we go. Just add a little shadow right here to make it clear that it has some thickness. And then there's some more details I still need to do on the coat arm, but I think I will leave it there for today. So let's go turn all the layers back on. We can take a look. It's getting there. So, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed watching me draw. If there's anything that you want me to take a look at, any of your creative pursuits, you know, drawing, painting, writing, programming, game design, anything you can think of, feel free to DM me on Twitter or Instagram and I'll go take a look. So thank you again for stopping by and I'll see you tomorrow.